Okay, just to start, I think it was an amazing performance by our defense, and I don't want to get that lost in all of this. It was a disappointing game. It was a terrible fourth quarter for us, but our defense played their hearts out. We played far and away our best game, even better than we did last week. Stepped up, made tackles, came up with big third down stops. More importantly than anything, we turned the football over. And that's what needed to be done to give us a chance in this football game. And they came out and played inspired football. And they were relentless. They stepped up again and again. And I told our guys at the end of the game that if we can continue to play that way on defense this year, we're going to win some football games. We're going to win a lot of football games. Unfortunately, the story of the day was the offense didn't get the job done. And we had some success early, which was encouraging because they're an outstanding defensive ball club. I think them and Marist are the two tops in the league. After playing both, I think these guys are certainly better than Marist. Their front four was very physical, and I think that's where the game turned. Our inability to control the line of scrimmage, to establish an effective running game, to assist Scott Stahl when Ben went down with a concussion, and just not having that ability to have an effective running attack put some more stress on him, and then they got after us with their pass rush. We were unable to keep them at bay. In the first half, with Ben, we were having some success. They were blitzing, which I was hoping for, because we felt like the more they can bring, the quicker we can get rid of the football and get the ball down the field where there are more open receivers. And we were able to do that early on, and I think in the second half they realized that they could get after the quarterback with just a four-man rush. And unfortunately, it was a disappointing day for Scott. He had a couple of nice throws early on and just never could develop that rhythm. Had several balls knocked down at the line of scrimmage, and really did not play the way that I know he's capable of playing. But it's a learning experience. Hopefully, our guys can learn from this one. I think we played a pretty good football game, despite the lack of production from the offensive side. I think on the whole, if we play the way that we did today, I think we can win some football games coming up here.
I know it's probably still too early to tell. Do you have any sort of indication about the severity of Ben's injury?
Well, he was not knocked unconscious. He was hit. It was probably a good no call. It was a possible roughing the passer play, and he came down and he just had blurred vision in one eye, and he let us know that. I don't think it's too severe. I don't think he has any memory problems or he didn't black out or lose consciousness or anything like that. He just noticed his vision was blurry in one eye and it wasn't going away, and he was playing really well, and but let us know, and then it got to the point where he said, I don't think I can play. And so we sat him down and at halftime reevaluated him, and he was developing a headache and had all the signs of a concussion. So we put the game in Scott's hands, and Scott knew that. In the second half, Ben was out there in street clothes.
What can Scott learn from this game?
Well, he's got to learn to have a short memory. He made a couple of throws that I know he wished he could have had back. And there's nothing you can do about an interception except learn from it. What did you do? Don't repeat that mistake. And he made a couple of poor reads, made a couple of poor throws during the game, and unfortunately, didn't step up when we needed him to. I told him at the end, he's just got to fight through it. There's really nothing he can do. What's done is done. He's a smart player. We've got confidence in him. He's talented enough to help us win football games. That being said, if depending upon the severity of Ben's concussion and how long he's going to be out, we'll definitely take a long, hard look. We've got some very talented freshman quarterbacks that we're excited about, and we're going to put the quarterback out there that's going to best help us succeed next week against Morehead State.
Ryan, how difficult is it when you're all of a sudden working with a different quarterback in the middle of the game?
I mean, it's tough, but I think we prepare for it well. I mean, we run over the 2-minute all the time. We were ready as a team. We just didn't execute.
Dale, what did you guys do to prepare for the break from a defensive standpoint?
We just did the same thing we did every single week. We just worked on techniques. We read our keys a lot better this week for sure, and had a great week of practice. Our week was outstanding.
Why do you think you guys were able to be so successful taking the ball, not just taking the ball away, but doing it deep in your own territory 3 different times?
Well, like I said during practice this week, we were all over the ball. Like, it was a fantastic week of practice in the secondary, and linebackers got starting to get more comfortable reading receivers instead of just dropping to spaces on the field. And the D-line got after the quarterback, so it was the whole entire defensive effort and getting all those turnovers.
Dale, you haven't beat Drake in years you've been here. How does this game compare to the previous games?
This game compares a big comparison to last year's, actually. You guys were there. It was a very close game, same style, same play, same defensive play. It's tough for me personally because I got a few buddies I played with high school on the other team. So every time I go back to home, we all just love talking about it. And it's tough, but we're excited about the rest of the season for sure.
Coach, you mentioned, you said you have a string of freshman quarterbacks. Is there any one in particular that you think might be most well prepared?
Well, Ryan Clark played some last week against Missouri Baptist. He's our long snapper, so we've used up his redshirt. He's playing, so this year counts. Dalton Stokes is an outstanding athlete from Florida who was really playing well in camp and then had some elbow problems that unfortunately kept him out for around a week and a half or so. And by the time he really got his arm strength back, we were kind of far enough with our offensive installation that he was just a little bit behind, but he's really caught up. He's done an outstanding job in scout team as well, and he has not played this year, so I would prefer if we were able to redshirt him. I think he's a very talented player as well, and with both him and Ryan Clark being talented players, as from a coach's view, you'd like to have them on separate years, and the fact that Ryan has played as a long snapper, that's really the number one reason why he's been our third string quarterback. But the one thing about freshmen, as I think exhibited by last week's game, there's more and more. It's a very talented young group of men, and some of them are slowly starting to emerge. Jared Morgan a week ago, and I think these two quarterbacks are both very talented, and they'll give Scott a run for their money, and like I said, we'll get things figured out this week and put the guy out there who's going to best help us win a football game.
Do you think a performance like this against Drake go a long way in the confidence department as far as going forward against these other Pioneer League teams?
Well, I think from a defensive standpoint, yes. I think the way that we played, I know offensively our guys are, a little bit more frustrated, because we played probably our best offensive game, against Campbell, a PFL team, and a very talented defense athletically. Campbell wasn't as physically defensively as St. Marist or Drake, but certainly athletically was probably the most talented PFL defense that we faced, and we've had success, and so it's there, and it kind of comes in spurts. We saw what we were able to do in the first quarter of this game, and put together some nice drives, and we're just uneven, and we're lacking that consistency, and like I said, that's part expected when you have a new system, a complex system, but it makes it even more hard when you've got a different signal caller that's back there, and that can change everything. But I think we're going to continue to get better. We know who we are in terms of our personality. We know we don't have the biggest offensive line or the strongest. We know that we're going to struggle at times to control the line of scrimmage. We've got guys up front that'll fight. They're intelligent. They do a pretty good job for the most part, pass protecting. They're very bright. We pick up the blitz well. So we have a lot of things that we're doing well, a lot of things that we're confident in. We've just got to be a more consistent football team, not turn the football over. And if our defense can keep playing the way that they did today, we're going to win some more games.
Ryan, how does Adrian Casara being out change your role in the offense?
I definitely play a lot more when he's out, but I think we all prepare well. We all know the offense, and I'm ready every week if he's out.